Hello. What's up? How was my terrible day? Terrible. Just, uh, just a lot of work. I, uh, I thought I was going to start on time today, actually. Everything was fine. And then, as you might be able to guess, everything wasn't fine. So that happened. Yes, it turned out to be a fucking lie. Basically, I did a lot of remediation work. I thought it was solid. It wasn't solid. And remediating the remediation was 3 hours. So, oh shit, my tanks, my hero. Oh man, I've been very excited for that. Because that seemed like a no-brainer, right? Damn, smoke black or charcoal black? Probably charcoal. Man, I don't know. Thank you for letting me know about that. It's only 43.32? Incredible. Just a moment. Important business here. Well, the shipping is no joke. Okay, sorry about that. This was extremely important. Thank you, Matanks. Yeah, I knew it was coming. I just didn't know the pre-order was up. So, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I don't know. The smoke was tempting, but for the PS1, I got the the chassis matched sort of colors and look. So I feel like I got to do the same with the PS2, you know what I'm saying? The last dang PS2 memory card I'm ever going to need. I know. I got to get the GameCube one as well. So yeah. Problems of my own making, I guess, today. Although, it's a bit of a mix, because the thing I was working on the one hand, absolutely, I had, like, issues with my code. But on the other hand, it's inside of a project that has bigger, worse issues with its code. Or conflicting issues, and it was, like, really slow and difficult to work on because of all the noise that was creating. So it was, like, rough getting to the point to where I could address my own problems that I created. Ah, procrastination legend. Very nice, very nice. Classic. Most classic. Why is it 74 degrees right now at midnight? Oh, right. I know why. By the by, courtesy of a good friend, I am now on Blue Sky. So if any of you are on Blue Sky, hit me up.
Nobo.
I think it's opening up, so I feel like now's the time to start asking people for invites, because I think they're increasing the trickle. Sloth, thank you for 35 months. Yeah, I think they're letting more people in now. And I like it, honestly, weirdly. It's basically Twitter 2. It looks extremely exactly like Twitter. But what's nice is it's all like the good posters from what I can tell. Like right now, it's just like I'm sure there's shit people on here, but it seems to be dominated by not shit people at the moment. The app itself is nice, and you can really customize your experience in a way that I like, with feeds and so forth. They also have like community block filters and blah 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 blah. Just a lot of good shit. In that regard. So, yeah. You should be able to just find me. I'm just Coestar on there, so you can just search for Coestar. But my full Blue Sky name is coestar.bsky.social right now. I did get my name. At least on bsky.social. But it's kind of a federated situation, it seems like. Kind of similar to Mastodon. So there's that. One thing I've noticed with the app is it does seem a little bit slow with the push updates. So like notifications kind of hang around after you've looked at them or don't show up immediately and stuff like that. But it's really minor. And my X account is probably just going to go dormant. I've stopped posting my stream live notices on there. I don't know that I'm going to post them anywhere because everything's a total fuck show now. And Twitch is in the midst of cutting our pay. So there's that. Like everything social media wise just sort of sucks shit right now in a horrible way. Yeah, well, Discord's automatic. To be honest, I think for the most part, the people that want to be here have been here, and it's not really not terribly reliant on notifications, but I'm open to being told what I should do or what you guys would prefer that I do. Podge, thank you for the biddies. Do you want to be notified when I actually do a stream and not like a 5-minute like, hey, I was working? Just got to make sure number go up.
Yeah, where is the brain?
QB, thank you for 56 months. Yeah, the Discord is automatic and that'll stay. I just know that not everybody's on Discord, and outside of that, the only other notification you would get would be the Twitch one, which, to my understanding, has been fairly unreliable. So I think when you are invited to Blue Sky and you make an account with Blue Sky, you are just put on bsky.social by default. But there are definitely people that have other like accounts from other places, and I don't quite know how that stuff works. I haven't looked into it, but they have like power user stuff that you can do. Like you can make your own feed algorithms. I don't know how that works because I haven't looked into it at all. If I look at my settings, so I can like add other accounts as well. So I have my BSky social account, but it will let me add other accounts. I don't know if that's all just Blue Sky accounts. Haha, if you click on that, it takes you to the create new account or sign in page of the app. And basically it signs you out. I would love for there to be a cancel button on that. That would be tight. If you click on sign in though, you can just click right on your login account. So that's not bad. I would say that Blue Sky looks like not shit Twitter. It also looks like it's proprietary Mastodon, essentially. I like this better than I like Threads. I think Threads is bad. I don't like Threads at all. And going from Musk to Zuck is not exactly a big improvement. You know what I'm saying? I have always been kind of like low use on the Facebook related stuff, all those apps, because I'm just not a fan. My Facebook is completely minimal just for like family connections. I otherwise don't use it or check it. Instagram I sort of used on and off, but I haven't used that in a long time. So oh yeah, well, that's what I meant by like proprietary Mastodon, basically. It's like clearly it's a federated-ish looking approach thing. I mean, from the beginning when they were talking about what they were doing in Blue Sky, they were always saying that it's a social networking protocol and not a platform exactly. And I wouldn't assume that it would be the same as Mastodon or even compatible with Mastodon, but it is interesting. So basically, it's proprietary, which is a con, but it looks cool, and the people that are on it are cool, which is a plus. And then there's Mastodon, which is open source, which is a plus, but it's kind of a confusing thing, which is a con. But I'm throwing it out there that I'm willing to let somebody take me by the hand and guide me to Planet Mastodon. Put me in the right places. Are you on co-host? I need people to follow on co-host. What is co-host? I feel like I've heard of this. I feel like I've heard people say bad things about co-host. I don't remember why. I don't remember the context. What if you could HTML your tweets? More Tumblr than Twitter? Hmm. Yeah. We're very fractured right now, you know? Everyone's scattered to the wind. That's a mess. It's that's the thing is like people discount Twitter being like important or mattering or blah blah, but the thing is that for some of us it was sort of like a social hub. So it's not like critical to our daily lives and not something I'm going to cry about, but it's sort of like it kind of feels like losing your phone and not having a backup of your contacts anywhere. That's what it is. It's like you've lost all your friends' phone numbers. It's just sort of this connecting hub. Yeah. Yeah, like Trillion. Yeah, I used Trillion back in the day. I had all the IM accounts, right? Yahoo, ICQ, AIM. AIM was the big one. MSN. A lot of shit on the early internet was deeply hitchhikers laden. Like lots of references. You remember Babelfish? Which I believe was, gosh, what was it? Was it a search engine? Or was it a translating? Because I mean, it would make sense if it was a translator, like an early one. I don't quite remember. And then you couldn't fucking go anywhere without people talking about towels, or you certainly couldn't say the number 42. Good Lord. Stumble upon, yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to delete my Twitter, but it's definitely going to go dormant. I'm going to hang on to it on the off chance that the NFT bros win and it becomes like the only way to I don't know, like purchase groceries or whatever in the nightmare dystopian future where it becomes what Elon says he wants it to become. In which case, I hope I'm just dead by then. I don't want to live. I don't want to live on the slave planet that we're headed towards. You know what I'm saying? I think I'll pass on that. It feels so much like where we're going to be going. Just a total slave planet with a few slave masters. Like that's the thing that the futurists are missing, you know. They like, oh well, robots and AI are just going to replace all the jobs so we can just focus on leisure and blah 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 blah. No, 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 no. No, no, no. We already see what's going to happen. If they replace all the jobs, they're just going to like sort of contain us. They're going to contain us to mine us for whatever remains. They don't even want us to have housing. It feels disturbingly close to just everything is only rentable in the future. Entertainment, housing. I don't think they can find a way to make food rentable, but who knows? Some like complicated process. You know, no shiny baubles, anything like that. Oh God, yeah, the company store. And probably some sort of social credit thing. You'll have X credits, and you'll have your little X chip. I mean, I'm starting to sound like the fucking like RFID chip, number of the beast conspiracy theory type of shit, but to some degree it overlaps, unfortunately. Like the direction reality seems to be headed, I think it's because reality has become like indistinguishable from satire. Drink the verification can to continue. uh, oh yeah, I mean, there's a ton of Elon simps. If you look at any of his posts about any of this stuff, they're all up in there, jerking hard. It's kind of incredible that the richest guy on the planet managed to go down the fucking alt-right pipeline in the same way that like a teenage white boy in high school would. You know what I'm saying? In exactly the same way. Like there's nothing different about it whatsoever. Like he got butthurt and that's it. Like he just got butthurt and started watching like Andrew Tate videos and that made him feel better. And then he just sort of adapted his whole personality around that. Like that's exactly what like a white teenage guy in the United States does. Exactly the same. That's just such a shitty dice roll for us, right? Why couldn't he have gone the other way? The other way. Why couldn't he have had empathy? But I guess the nature of his existence dictates that he would not. Is basically the reason why. I think it's people who just wanna slurp up the drippings, you know? They're hoping to slurp up some drippings. Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying that it's, you know, it's biologically possible for any brain, is all I'm saying with what I said. Some interaction in his life that made him go, oh shit, other people have feelings? And just, you know, just from there. But, you know, we just aren't that lucky. But yeah, the probability was against us. That's the truth of it. Okay. Congrats, Dino, although I'm unclear on how the two are related. Well, yeah, but he's had wives and children. I'm just saying there are social opportunities that could have been a spark in that direction, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how they weren't. Like, that just is so, it's so mind-boggling to me. I understand the technical reasons, like, why this happens, but it doesn't, I don't know. God, y'all know what I'm trying to say, though. I'm not denying. You don't have to keep telling me who I know Musk already is. I'm just saying it sucks that it couldn't have gone differently. That's all I'm saying. It's not impossible that it could have gone differently, but the probability was low. Yes. Beyond that, we are obviously in agreement. I mean, to be honest, I will say yes for the most part. Obviously, he was always going to go this way. And the shithead was always present. That's clear from the stories from PayPal and from Tesla and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there was a period of time where he wasn't a total alt-right fuckstick. I think that's what makes me think it, or think about it, right? It's like, he wasn't actively trying to do damage per se. He was still a billionaire shithead, but he wasn't like he is now. a few years ago, even. When he was just trying to be like Mr. Poster Boy for tech stuff. It was still a lie. Don't get me wrong, all right? So it's always been a lie. At best, he was probably no better than like a kind of centrist, kind of left-leaning centrist. And that's what I'm saying. He's done the same thing that we've seen a lot of people do in the past, I don't know, almost 10 years, since like 2014 I'm talking about before he went off the right wing. That's what I'm talking about when I say the alt-right pipeline. This phenomenon that's been happening since around 2014, where like, I mean, I've certainly watched friends circle that drain, right? They went from being like just sort of normal-ish to being completely fucked up. And we've seen a lot of public personalities do that too. He's one of them. Right, he had that sort of bullshit fucking libertarian tech bro altruism bullshit, whatever. That same shit that was behind FTX. What do they fucking call it? It's something altruism. It's really dumb. It's another fucking idiot ideology. FTX altruism. Effective altruism. Yeah. But a bit of earning to give. Blah, blah, blah. The belief that the best way to make a difference is to earn as much money as possible so you can donate it to charity. Right. Well, we saw how that went. He wasn't exactly Robin Hood. Yeah, I don't know. I was reading a thread on Reddit the other day that occasionally sort of like the bottom feeding subreddits will rise up enough to where I see them in popular. And the Reddit's interesting because I would say the vast majority of the popular stuff, the most active users on Reddit seem to be sort of liberal, I would call them. I would hesitate to say leftist, although I think there are a lot of actual leftist type people there. And then all of the conservatives and centrists have been like kind of shoved down to the bottom of the pile. So I very rarely see their stuff. But I did stumble into a thread where there were like just all the centrists on Reddit were jerking each other off about how smart they are, about how whiny everybody is on either side of them. And it was super infuriating. I don't understand how you could possibly be anywhere near the center. Are you just asleep? You like the open fascism stuff you're fine with. Is essentially what you're saying. It's not a fringe thing. I mean, have you Have you noticed any of like the laws that have been getting passed or anything that's been going on at all? They just have a really stupid view of everything, basically. They are centering themselves and categorizing everything else as extreme left or extreme right without actually accounting for reality, which is there is no extreme left action in the United States when it comes to politics, legislation, anything. There's nothing like that. Whereas on the fascism side of the fence, well, let's see, a lot of laws seem to be getting made about LGBTQ people, and I guess the centrists are fine with that. Not fascism. Women don't have control over their own bodies. Underage girls have to cross state borders and can be potentially tracked now by states that want to track them down and lock them up. According to centrists, not fascism. That's the law now, though. Apparently not fascism. Among many, many other things. Oh no, Doug. Oh man. It's really irritating because I really just feel bad for people like that because I feel like they've just been duped. The inclination is to hate them. And I totally empathize with that because I wrestle with it myself. But like I just feel like the reality is they've been duped. It's kind of like there was this video that kind of made the rounds recently where there was this guy that went to West Virginia. I've talked about West Virginia before because we drove through it for one of the Minecraft marathons, and I had never really been through the Appalachia area, and it's just fucking depressing. And the thing is, I can totally understand why everybody there would be all fucked up and pissed off and susceptible to right-wing propaganda, because from their perspective, they don't have anything, and no one gives a shit about them, and they're constantly being lied to, namely by Joe Manchin. So yeah. Now, I'm not endorsing the video or the guy who made the video or anything like that. It's just interesting to me. And it just reminded me of that thought of like, I get why people end up the way that they do to some degree politically here. Because they're sort of being molded into it. I think these people are built. They're guided into a funnel. It's also very easy to like kind of smooth over the anger and the depression and all these feelings when if someone just hands you easy answers, it's extremely tempting to just take them. Because the alternative is what? Fucking sit around and feel bad like I do. Oh boy. Exciting. Fun. So I think that's what a lot of people get out of this stuff is just it makes them feel good. You know. I think that's mostly explains like the Andrew Tate pipeline. Right? Like there's not much depth there. There's just like guys that feel bad and then a grifter swooping in to give them the exact answers that that fill that void. They're wrong answers. You know, like I talked about this before, but like this whole thing of guys helping each other by like making them focus on all the wrong stuff. Like none of the things that are gonna like anything but like actually working on yourself as a person, working on your personality. Let's make all that stuff worse. That's the answer. And that's that's how that works. But short term, it makes them feel good, or maybe even long term, because you build up like this mental wall where you completely block out, reality at all. Like abusive guys are like that in that way where they're just impervious to any sort of reasoning or reality, and they can stay that way their whole lives, and they just think that they're right, and they've just built a wall that's just impervious to anything. Like they don't care who they piss off. I don't know. I mean, like internally, maybe they are in pain over that stuff, but like it seems like it's just an impervious wall, and they just kind of stay that way their whole lives. I don't know. Facing stuff doesn't really feel great either, because you just kind of sit around going, so what do we do? And most of the time just sort of feels like the answer is nothing, I think we're kind of like in a post-revolution United States. I don't think it doesn't seem like there's any shred of hope of that happening. And solidarity doesn't seem like it's just going to magically happen. The strike stuff is cool, but how long is that going to last? And will it hit critical mass? Yeah, the problem is that stuff's easy to say, but it's all down to the individual person, and it differs across the board, across industries, across everything, right? Like not everybody can just drop everything and jump in on this stuff, I'm not saying that like the writers, for example, can do that per se. Like this stuff involves sacrifice. I totally acknowledge that. That's obvious. But like the sacrifices for certain people will be too large. Many people will just be too large. And to some degree, I believe it's sort of intentionally that way, right? It's been made difficult. Like you can't expect that of people where it's like the linchpin of their life, right? Like people's health care is tied up in their job. Who knows what else? And then you pull that out and their whole life, family, everything falls apart. That's an insane ask. But then you're just kind of going like, well, what are the other options? Few to none. Yeah, I think established unions make it a lot easier because the unions take care of people as well. So that helps to enable that sort of action to a degree. Obviously, it's not like a total panacea, but like the SAG and the Writers Guild, those all give a lot more power to the people that are in them that other people just don't have. Like the Starbucks unions that have been forming, they have to start from the ground, and they don't have any sort of like anything behind them if shit falls apart. So they have to do that hard work, but they've been making progress. Oh, we are far, far from separating religion from politics in the United States. We never have. At best, we put on a sort of show of it, but it's never been separated from it, ever. Like, we have things like separation of church and state, but that's not like a law. That's just sort of something one of the founding fathers wrote. But it's not like in the Constitution. I don't think there's anything legal about it. It's just sort of it's more of a feeling, a suggestion. Yeah, it's a suggestion. You're not supposed to have like a religious test for office, but like in the literal sense, we don't. In the practical sense, there's a reason why like every politician has to say like they have to thank God, or people get mad at certain times, like when they make they visit something, or or if something good happens, blah blah blah. They have to do these religious performative things, like swearing on a Bible and blah blah blah. Effectively, in like the court of the public, there is a religious test for public office. It's just inherent. It's not like legally decreed. Right. Yeah. Like it was only recently that we changed our motto over to "In God We Trust" and put "In God We Trust" on the money and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that we haven't been essentially a religiously political intertwined nation for the entire existence of the country. Well, it's just always been here, is the thing I'm saying. It's just always been sort of simmering just under the surface. It's not new, but there is a sort of rising tide of fascism that is new, and it is religiously intertwined as well. It goes back a bit further than that. Certainly, the plan to overturn Roe v. Wade is over 50 years old. That was always a thing. Ever since then, but it predates that as well. Like, it's sort of a zeitgeist thing, but it's certainly been like just bubbling away, and it's been picking up steam. They've sort of reached a critical mass, I would say, in the past 20 years or so, it seems. No, the U.S. absolutely would not be able to elect an openly atheist president. Certainly not soon. Possibly never. Yeah, nor a woman. Certainly, we've taken many steps back in that regard in the past couple of years as well. Yeah. I think that's probably true here. Omni. I mean, Hillary basically won. It was that electoral college bullshit that gave us Trump. So it did get quite close, but yeah. I don't think that necessarily really even matters to me either. I don't even see what the benefit of an atheist president would be. Because I think in reality, there's actually plenty of atheists in office. It's just nobody can say it. Like I said earlier, like there's a lot of performative religion in United States politics because you have to do it. If you don't do it, you're just opening yourself up to attack for no reason whatsoever. And even if you do it, if you look at like Obama, and I'm not like flying to Obama's defense because he wasn't a great guy, but like he was an atheist Muslim antichrist, if I remember correctly. So it's performative and it's nonsense. It's insanity. All of it. Right? Just strap that Peace Prize onto the front of a drone. Well, this has been fun, I'm sure, for everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry for just doing a check-in stream again. I really wasn't planning on it. I honestly wasn't planning on doing this. But that's just unfortunately how the heck it worked out again. And I can only apologize. But I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a good night. I hope tomorrow I can have a normal stream with you. And until then, have a beautiful evening. And I'll see you next stream.